We are here for the S6 tier tonight at the Temple of Speed in Monza. So tonight, as you have Monza, he is known for straight line speed, as I did just say. I am the commentator Brendan, and unfortunately I will not be joined by Felix, but I am back for F6 after two absences from F6. One because I wasn't available, and the other because I had to cover F5. Well, I'm glad to be back here because we had some exciting races, particularly in Miami, where we had an ending where all hell effectively broke loose because of, and in all the chaos we saw there were two people who were able to just make their way through, ensure themselves to get a nice points haul. So let's have a look at our championship standings. I can't put them up on the screen, but I will try to update you with them. So currently in F6 we have done 5 rounds. I know last week it was a very exciting ending in Japan with the last lap, the 1-2 laps dash. At the moment Keane leads the championship, and when he's finished, he's been on the podium 75% of the time, so he's in good run at the moment with 11-point lead. But then he has Drone and who are pretty much level with each other, a similar name, equal championship points totals. So now we're going to go on board with somebody here. Well, I suppose I'll go on board with Elliot here. So as you go through the Parabolica, or as it's now known, the cover on Barretto, and down straight, the DRS just comes just after the finish line. So now down towards the first chicane, and you need to make sure you get it right. This is very anti-der rettifiglio. I moved making a few good moves here. But now through the Cover Grande, and this is another place where you can see moves, particularly from Chiaro. Just make a switch to the left, but not here. You don't need to for the Variante del Roggia, because nobody to battle. Now through Lesmo 1 and then Lesmo 2. And I'd have to say, well, it just took a little more, trying to buy off more than he could chew. That's it for Elias. He will not have a time in this final session, and well, now it's up to actually I'm going on board with Keane, our championship leader. Through 192, the Pirelli man at home in Monza would like to win this one. Obviously, it isn't like he's been contracted to Ferrari, but even so, you would like to put the Ferrari into top step at Monza. 26.1 for the first sector. It is purple, and usually sector 1s are going to glitch, so it should mean Keane will be up there, but he has been up there all season. So through Lesmo 2 it is much better. Now the Curva del Suraggio, which is just a little bit of a kink more in the curve, and now down to Variante Ascari, named after Alberto Ascari, who was a 2-time champion early on in sports history. Unfortunately wasn't at that tally. So now down to the Parabolica, or no, Curva Barretto, named after Michele Barretto, who was a Ferrari driver. So now you tuck to the left, or to the right, and now up to the line 119.2. That is very much the lap time they're going to have to beat now. Jerome will have work to do to try and defeat his teammate on the other side of the garage. as you would expect, I would expect Keane to take pole based on his performances this season. It's very much been podium or lit or nothing for him, and it's been more podium than nothing. So there's never been more win than nothing this season. And I will just say, Ferrari are running away with this Constructors' Championship. Maybe not as much as you would think, given they effectively have a 1-2 in the standings. But yeah. El Pilotore, who has been doing performances, but probably not quite got what he would have wanted out of this season. He has missed 2 races, but considering in Miami he was in a very good position, but then doing that to the safety car. Salisbury, he's already out to try and prove again. It'll be important for him because well, one hasn't done it, so you see 26.3, you see the little difference, and that's why it's an improvement, but we need to find more improvements in our honestly setup here will very much be, you probably see people run 0-0, but if you can be fast through these corners, you might make up a little bit of time. So now down to Mascari, is he? While he's on the brakes, just make sure you take the best line you can. As often getting that right line is more important than trying to munch on the power too early. So now you just see AlphaTauri weaving, and that would be Jarno. We only 16 drivers, so some teams will only have 1 driver. Haas only have 1 driver, that's because Elliott's out, and Gasly improves to 7th. Decent improvements, so pops up in a place or 2. However, now Jarno will look to snatch that back, breaking to the other Italian car here today. And actually, AlphaTauri are usually a little further in pecking order, but they have managed to win twice in the history of F1 history, and both times coming at a home circuit in Monza. But they would very much be more near to Imola, even so, as you would often see them do testing there. So now through Lesmo 1, Lesmo, but now Lesmo 2, you really need to shoot out of here very quickly, get on the power, but just don't overdo it, because otherwise you may end up in the wall, and it's usually never going to end too well. Finding the slight improvements is Jarno. It's going to improve to El Pilotore goes to P2. So the Red Bulls starting to challenge it. Just in real life, they'll probably be 5 tenths up on the 2nd place, but obviously equal cars here, so equal engines. And Jarno, now he's going to go up there now. He goes back ahead of Gasly with a 119.7. And would advise checking the Discord for the standings. You can join through PSGL Twitter or maybe even Instagram as well. So now let's see. Yeah. So we don't really have a lot of people out. Oh, let's see. Keane improving, I believe, by a bit there. There's another purple sector. So now you see him through. He's alright. Too much. Really pushing the inside there. Let's move too. We often need that to get the eggs onto the back straight. Now here, you don't see a pass that often here, as Monza can often get caught with DR strength. He is slightly down this time here. Oh well. Oh, you have to get out of it here. He's done very well to sense when it was going right. Jerome has a 180.3, so has improved, but hasn't found that much improvement. You can switch the order of him for rallies. we will just try and keep an eye on who's on the lap here. But if Nico is on the lap or not, as actually he is building up ERS rather than deploying his Skyline, however, is definitely going to use ERS. The other Alpine is looking to find the time. It's in the lake, but improvement here. Purple sector 1. Which is looking very, very, very good. So should let's move on. Trying to keep the inside a little more. You don't want to touch the kind of curve as a good change off. Not taking some liberty in Lesmo 2 though, which is very interesting. So now the Alpine, which kind of flying down the straight, now into Ascari. You just Carolini's done it very well there. We can be very happy with so he is up in his time, but is it enough? Because we don't know, we could. Oh, little twitch there, that won't help, but he's trying to tuck back in here to the right, just to save the few meters up the line. He manages to break the Ferrari front row lockout, and he is now P2. But I want to move on back to the garage there, because the final run will be imminent. Keen clearly decided I want to get out now and do a run early, because in case I make another mistake, then I have the time to go again. While we are here, just make sure to check out our sponsors. Make sure to check GT Omega, who are our title sponsor. And also check out Grid Rival, where you can get fantasy. Set up a fantasy league for F1 or MotoGP for you and your friends. So, I suppose it is, many of you who do FPL, it will effectively be like that, but in case you just have to pick your drivers for a certain number of races, but then you have to switch, so there's no having one guy forward all the time. Also here, if you had someone else, which you probably have Keen if you could. So now he's going on this lap here, so now as we watch the Ferrari go through the Curva Grande, we see many moves pulled there. As people just slipped him up behind, they pulled to the outside. 25.9, very, very good from Keen. And Alex, oh, it's invalid. Is Keen cracking under the pressure here? You wonder. This is not really. Well, he's put in a brilliant first lap, but he's just not finding it. The good pace. And he's glad, actually, just look. He's now going like 4 cents quicker. Surely. Oh, I think he wants to just go back to the garage. Does he know? Well, that was the other thinking behind it. But that's another set of tyres used up. So you have 4. But now he's gone through all the softs. So any late safety car, he could be in a little bit of trouble. PSGL is here now. Seems to see running a little low in the ERS and also the laggy. So we will, well, valid, but now we'll see if Nico's actually in proper run here. He is in, oh, he's in, and looks like people are starting to take a little bit of liberty with this, with the second chicane, because a lot of validations, people, see last game, you'd be treading a needle because you do not want to touch the curb, but now you can, well, it's not like F1 2020 where you could very much just drive over them. You have to take a bit of care, but if you get it right, you'll be able to fix the curbs. As you see, we have our top 2 out, one from the other. No slipstream games being played here because that is banned here in PSGL, so it does prevent kerfuffles. Prevent drivers on for slipstream. I don't really think slipstream kind of works that much, doesn't really that much of a benefit in the game. So you see Leon here, who's currently at the bottom of the timed runners. You see him going in now. Yep, there's a lot of time there. Looking a little bit odd. Oh, that's Michelle. We've just seen him there. Oh, no, we didn't. That was Nico. But, yeah. This is very much being repped out here. Well, for our side anyway, obviously. I don't think it's like that for him. And I see 7 tenths of improvement. A purple second sector. Haven't seen that pop up much. So now this could be a very good time here. As he saved his best to last. So now you just see, coming up to the line here, will be Alfa Romeo, a Swiss team but with an Italian sponsor. Will they go to pole? No. His last sector was actually was an improvement there, so 4th at best, but I suppose it is much better than starting in 15th. 19. He's took 2 chances, but nobody's been able to catch him. Can he make this chance count? It's purple, but it wasn't the previous run purple. He didn't get into the 25s. Now you see, however, he's not invalidated. This is the key. This is where the time is going to be found here for Keane. If we Pilatore, he is now going to try and prove that the Alpine is off. Pilatore up the P3. He has got the lap in. He will be happy with that. Drones backed off here. I think that's him done. 4th at best. So it's between these two, Keane and Skyline. Unless we get a challenge from someone else further down, which we won't really expect. So now Keane to the line. It's a 1:18.9. First man to 1:18, and Skyline has aborted the lap into the pits. He will not improve. And that's Leon into the pits. Like, and Nico will be. No, I think Nico's just going to take the checkered flag. That is your quality. A Ferrari and pole in Monza. But it did. He would probably be thinking it took a little more work than it probably could have. Well, that is it. Everyone has managed to get to the garage, and we are now ready to race. So now, Keane lines up in pole position for Ferrari, and once the Dutch 1-2 Skyline makes this onto the front row for Alpine, then a Pilatore P3. Jerome wasn't able to make it a Ferrari Dutch 1-2 before. Leon P5, Mike P6, Nico P7, Sam P8, Shell P9, Cantor P10, P11 Tower Racer, Twitov Coleman, Yarn P13, Gas P14, Lynx P15, and Elias, who failed to sell lap time, P16. So now we are ready to go. soon enough we hopefully we'll have some racing here. Well, some good racing anyways, as well at Monza you can get DRS trains, but there are huge opportunities to make that move if you do wish to do so, but at your own cost here, especially on that one. So now we are ready to go. We are going immediately. No formation lap here. 5 red lights. Lights out in Monza, and we are racing. As now we have our info. As key and a bit of. And into turn 1 here, a lot of lockups. People on the hard tyres just struggling to get the temperature. And Pilators has a bit of contact with the rear, and now he's going to. All this hard work is going to be lost. There's now he's back down to P5. Drone has now made it a Ferrari 1-2 here at Monza. He did miss opportunity in quality, but in this race he has managed to get the start. It's that Skyline. Skyline being top round. He's already spin again now being tapped back round. So already in much control. Nick Kenshin's now got caught up in that as well. So now Keane follows Jerome, follows Leon, Seb, Michelle, Nico, Mike, Gosbury, Lynx and El Pilador. So just a little bit of tapping going on here, and that's it. Sent the races of a few drivers here gone down the drain. That's Terror Racer now down to 15th. So El Pilador and Skyline are P2 and 3 drivers. They have not had a good start here. Keane must be really happy because now he's got his teammate behind, and now we've got Mike into the pits. I think Mike may have picked up a little bit of damage here, because you don't pit in lap 1 unless it's either somehow beneficial to your race or you got damage. So now Keane looks like he can extend his championship lead, and I think he'd be very, very happy with that. Obviously Drone will have an opportunity to open the gap as well over the other Drone. Obviously there is a slight difference in how the name is spelled, but so now looks like the Ferraris have pulled out their own gap. The rest of this pack are going to struggle very much to catch you, especially once the Ferraris can start to DRS each other away. Leon's going to be very, very worried here, and I think he knows that. He's trying to burn a bit of DRS just to close up a bit. And if he was able to just get within 1 second there, he would secure his podium position. As I see Yano with the fastest lap actually, so these mediums probably working well. So now Ferrari 1-2. You know, going further down the pack we're going to see some very interesting racing. So we're into one of these famous DRS trains. It is a common feature on the Formula 1 game, especially when you have people in this tier who are on such a similar level of pace that you barely see the difference, and there's no car performance to accentuate the difference between any of these drivers. You will have to wonder then, what would people be able to do in order to move themselves up the order? As particularly someone like Michel, who is effectively right slap bang in the middle of a train. How is he going to be able to make a move up the order here? But then how hard is it for Sam to just get past someone who doesn't have the DRS, because mainly you've got dirty air in the corners, and then even still with Monza where you're you're thinned out with your downforce, there's not much damage you actually gain with the DRS. So there's also none like with Spa, where you do have that little bit of difference in the second sector, which makes the setup have to be a little more compromised, and therefore it does allow for people to try and make moves or some battling, because somebody with a racer 9-speed setup could get past, and then it's up to the person behind who's quicker but with a setup that doesn't help them when trying to overtake. They then have to try overtake, which can induce some good battling, because they'll be just catching up at the right time. But now you see Keane, who fell behind his teammate, is now through. So Ferrari switching each other, but they have to watch now. I think Leon is going to do what he needs to. Oh, and you see the Ferrari's going deep there, which is not going to help, because now look, Leon has now brought a bunch of drivers with him. Oh well, only 7 really. But oh, we got an incident. Oh, Jarno. That was unfortunate for Jarno there. Nick Kenshin. I'm not sure if he was caught up in that, but yeah, that's probably compromising Jarno's race. He was looking like he could pull something with a bag though, given he was on the as opposite strategy to everyone else. As now you see Carlsbury Michel now in trouble without the DRS, and Carlsbury has got through. So once you drop out of the DRS, the move becomes that a little bit more possible. But now it's Carlsbury's task here to start closing up to the back of Sem. It's now that he's got a yellow flag. Not sure what for, but oh, that's a schoolman, and just at the last corner here, parabolic it. Just you're trying to just push on the power without watching it. That's Lynx retiring in the pit lane, so that's peculiar. Jarno now into the pits, and I'm assuming that might be to change his tyres. Well, back onto the onto the hard tyre. I think he's decided enough's enough. I'm just going to try something a bit outlandish here, and hope that if I get into the good position, I will be in a decent spot. Even so, he is a bit far off. So you see this top 2 is now becoming top 4. Carlsbury isn't actually falling away that much, because in a way this he's only got the same sort of speed as them, but he doesn't have to worry about breaking the corners. You just see how it pulls away there a little, but then he makes up that time in the corners. Yeah, you see here, Jerome not getting the run he wants. Price are identical in ERS here. Sem has the most, but he's got the most work to do as well. As now you see Elliott and Skyline knows he has pace, so he needs to try and make the most of this here. He'd probably be thinking I could be in front of them on my mediums, but you know, he didn't get the best starts, ironically enough, despite the soccer compound. Because that's Terror Racer saying fastest lap, so I'll see happy enough with that. But now you see this Naldo, you see off into level 1. He's pouncing Elliott there, and he's got him done, but is that a little too eager? Because now all Elliott has to really do here is use the power, but he is not doing it. I think he wants to hold this because with the ERS, he can make a move easier on mid. Although it looks like Skyline here is very much building a gap. Actually, you see here, Leon's dropped out with DRS. That is crucial. But even then, you see, he is not falling out that much. If this was a different track, he'd probably be falling out a lot more. Monaco's probably the only place where you wouldn't have to worry about so much in a way, because the fact is just such a short straight. Let's see, Skyline maintaining his position over Elias here, but Elias probably can wait here because of hard tyres. He will have the advantage once the tyres slip later on in the race. We're already through lap 8 here. Usually a race at Monza is very quick. In fact, 2003 Italian Grand Prix may have been, oh well, it was the quickest Grand Prix completed to the full anyway. Obviously, the shortest ever Grand Prix belongs to 2021 Belgian Grand Prix. So now, on to lap 9, a third. By the end of this lap, when I finish a third of the race, no safety cars around that so far, but Sem's now making a move. He knows he's got the speed, and now he is up into third place. He's probably thinking, I need to try something here. It's that Casbury down the inside, I need go. As I see Casbury getting a nice drive out of the corner, but is he really susceptible to any attack here? No. Looks like Nico was saving that whatever little bit of ERS he has, because well, Casbury's got even less. If you're going to build up a difference, you can then burn and flip the situation onto Casbury. El Pidador is doing well to recover here. He is in P8, and he can make a good undercut or even overcut. He will be up into a very decent place, even if I feel like it could have been a lot more. So now you see Leon remaining with 10, but it looks like these two are starting to fall right back off again. These Ferraris have turned up the wake. We found the party mode of the 2019 engine, because they have stormed off into the distance, and it's not. And if it was early on the season, you would think it was like real life, but now you just think, are these Ferraris just painted just red? Well, Red Bulls. So at the moment, still looking like Keane will have this race. He's got a little more ERS now than Jerome. They've both burned up a little. Presumably, Jerome was just burning to try it. Then you get a nice run. Because he mostly can guess he can make the slipstream work even more and then pass. But now when you're about 6/10 off, it's not really. It would just be for one reason only. I thought that Leon. Oh, that's Leon. He's heading off, and now he's dropped back down. He was in a nice, comfortable position, but now he's stuck in between, effectively, DRS. Well, a bit of Torum, Elias. Elias a bit off, but Leon now, he is just outside the DRS straight. He probably want to do a little bit of late braking here. Let's see, detection point is between Nesmo 1 and 2. So ideally, set up your run through there. He is now into the DRS train, so at least he'll be able to latch on to something here, and if he could maybe work himself up, it would help. Well, the good thing here now for Sam is, he doesn't have anyone really to focus on, he can just focus on himself. As you just see here, he's just got a very nice run through the Scottish chicane. And through to lap 11, we are, I suppose we'll give you a positional change. So, team is up from pole to first. Jerome's up 2, Sam up 5, which is a very good progression. So you see Calsbury and Nico, Calsbury's back past Nico. Calsbury up 10 places from the start. And his teammate Eddie is up 7, so the Haas are really moving up the grid here. That's Skyline into the pit. I think he wants to get a pit stop here. If he can make this work, he will fly up the order. As I think it's time we switch to leader, because depending on where he's filed out, as you see Skyline filed out the 14th, and I will give you stops. Terra Racer, Mike, Skyline and Yarno will want me to stop, but Yarno won't be a factor in this race, pretty much. Skyline could be a factor, given he was up there for a bit. Mike maybe, but then again, pitting on lap 1 would be reason that Terrace was on medium, so he will have to pit again, most likely, unless he gets a safety car. In which case, well, at least he will have to pit, but at least he'll be caught back up to the back here. So he said 4.1 off the lead. He's very much found that middle spot that was often occupied by the likes of Verstappen in 2020, where you aren't doing much, aren't affecting anyone much, because you're way too quick for the others behind, but then again, the others are just a little bit too quick for you at the moment. Let's see. Calsbury and Nico seem to be providing us with the most action, as these two are happy to go for moves. You just see Nico burning ERS here. He wants to get a bit of a slipstream and just close himself up. As Calsbury gets a nice drive out, so he just wants to mitigate that by closing up right behind him. Now you see he is now going to burn, and it's a very easy pass, because when you do burn, you get so much more speed. And it's so easy, you actually, Leon is now punched to the pits. It's early for a hard tyre. You would think there would be a little bit of margin left, so you wouldn't have to put the medium tyres on for so long. But clearly he believes, well, I'm now going to be on low fuel, I should make my stop. Nick Kenshin also making a stop. As now you see Leon, he has filed out into, well, as he's 34 seconds off the lead, but this could now mean a possible undercut here, or maybe he might necessarily get it straight away, but with cold tyres, it could be a thing as terrorists are keeping the place on Nick Kenshin, but now Mike's going to try and go for him. So he's got to watch here. Some of these guys want to go to the end, however. Oh, and you just see Mike is boxed in. Couldn't get past it. A solid object. Keane takes the plunge. So the first of Ferrari's to box. So Jerome and Sam stay out. Nico and Calsbury. But But then you see Michel, he's in but 5 seconds. Oh, and that's going to cripple any chance he had of making something work there. We're now going to see Leon, who's the man to take the plunge early. And decide, I'm going to get off these tyres because I want to make an undercut. So now, where's he going to find out? Michel is, I just see here, it's very much Verstappen Hamilton. There's one guy very much barring him down. Oh, you just see Michel, got a mistake there, and now Leon is through. So Leon getting the place. And I think he will be happy with that there. He was behind Michel, but getting that undercut has worked. It isn't the dimensional undercut where he just appeared ahead, but it is the one where he got the tires warm first, and now he's going to push on here because he knows he had good pace until he made a mistake. Jerome is now in. He now has to hope that Keane doesn't quite have such an advantage because of these warmer tyres. But you know, see a bit close thing out along with Carlsbury, Jerome and Sam. And Elliot is also staying out. Jerome is coming out now. Keane, he's going to fly by. Keane has done a brilliant outlap, and well, I think we've I have to say, well done. Sam has came out in the same place he was before, effectively, but he has lost a little. Has lost time to Keane, anyways. Nico is come out. We would expect Leon now. He's going to be the winner of this because he's now moved himself up a slot. But now you have to watch for Carlsbury and Pilatore. They could be hoping for a safety car, but as this race has not really thrown up much of that, most drivers tend to be keeping it on the straight and narrow. So now you see, oh, yellow flag, that is Yarno. But, oh no, not. Remus Carlsbury now in the pits. Keane sets the fastest lap, so clearly at this point you probably will want to go on to mediums. El Pilatore saving the ERS though. It could be a case that he can use that to mitigate the undercut advantage. But Carlsbury now is out. And now he's going to be swarmed here. It's almost Hackett through Marquezonte, but Monte. As now you see Nico and Leon. Oh no! It's technically stopping Hamilton, but they have managed to at least avoid climbing on each other. So Carlsbury, he has managed to somehow win out here, despite being undercut. As Leon Michel and Nico were just too focused on each other. Where Leon just basically tried to fight it out, but just didn't realise he was running out of racing room and a proper track to use. So now he's lost in the place, or he hasn't lost the place, but he's lost the potential of being at the front of this queue. Michel is now gone ahead, and Nico, who could have been the lead car here of that trade, is now down. But he's already making a move here. Nico has not been afraid to get elbows out here, and he is now through with Michel. He is. Michel just gonna have to hope he can sit through it back, but I don't think he can or will. So now you see man staying out. He has to make a stop, which is very interesting, but it is what it is. It's the remaining interest between El Pilotor and Elliot is these two probably thinking, if I could just get a safety car here, or go for soft tyres, then perhaps I can make a dash through the field, because I need a difference in order to push myself ahead. No pit stop for anyone there. So I think El Pilotor and Elias have probably going along in the hopes that either a safety car allows them to make a nice stop. As Mike fights the penalty speed in the pit lane. Mike wants to just get into pit because not much else can really do with this race. He's now going to be the last of the drivers here. Is he not lapped? But last, he will be on the soft stall, so expect him to be very, very quick. As who is there? As that is a Skyline, I believe. He's had enough. Oh, and then Harton. Oh, right. He would have no front wing there. You would have thought there might have been a safety car. And would have probably been hopes for El Pilotor that he would have gotten that safety car. Nick Kenshin picking up a time penalty. Keep him going. I'm assuming everyone. We've had a very uneventful race, really. Looks like Jerome is really pushing it, the ERS, these two. If Jerome was just able to get the braking into one corner here, or something, just gain and then. But the only issue for him is he now has got DRS on Elliot, but he may not necessarily get DRS on Keane. Now true Parabolica, no. It's just outside, but oh, is that? That dropped it, but I suppose at least he was coming into the pits, so only so much time lost. It's enough's enough. I'm gonna just try go on soft now and pull away. El Pilotor maintaining that 6-second gap. He could end up being in a very good place here. It's also McLaren here. It's strangely enough is still hasn't pitted. He's that's Nick Kenshin out in the pit lane. So that won't cause anything, I'm sure. There was probably a hope there from those who hadn't pitted, but yep, that is Elliot's now popped down to P10 on his own, really, but probably hoping that these soft tires will pull him along very nicely. El Pilotor stays out again. He very much still hoping probably with something at this point, or just to go long enough that his soft tires won't hit a cliff and lose all pace. So now what? Well, McLaren over its good man into the pits and out onto the soft compound tyre. Well, Jarno also in, but if he's going to go on soft. So probably some fast and lap attempts here as well. Obviously point system here, you do get a point fast lap, but 16, 12, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now El Pilotor pits, he will now relinquish the lead he's held for a long number of laps, but I think he decided, look, going any longer would just hurt my race. However, now he's got a big thing here, just a crew coming. Leon is going to fly by. He's going to drop down, but he will be the fastest man by far. So I think it'll be very interesting to see, can El Pilotor make his way up to and past this gang of the cars, tentatively Leon in P4. You know what's wrong here? He's built up his ERS. Mind you, so is Keen. Crucial thing is, he's in DRS range. So these two Ferraris, they will want the win on Monza, but would a collision here be a little too fatal? See, we've seen two McLarens have won 2 at Monza last year, but we've also seen 2 McLarens. Well, I doubt anyone's actually seen it live, but if you do look into the history books, McLaren had it. They won 2 at Monza in 1988, as they would have had in most races, but due to circumstances, separate circumstances, made a finish and ended up in a Ferrari 1-2 there. So the Ferrari would hope that they would get the 1-2, but not necessarily be the ones messing up, giving the circumstances out. I see Jerome, he has a big opportunity here. Here, he can make some gains here, cut that championship lead down from 11 points to 7. And that's not a thing fast enough, which does belong to Terror Racer. So, as that's Leon and Calsbury. Calsbury has been fighting all day, but now, is this the case where Nico, is he now going to try and fight? But it looks like he doesn't have the ERS just to build it on. Get it. El Pilotor going fast here. He's very fast in qualifying, but looking to just hope he can get up there now at this point. So that's Mike in the pit lane, so I think he decided I've got to get anything here, so I will retire. Unfortunate, but it is up to him. Oh! Oh dear, oh dear. Now mate. And Skyline, just not sure if he misjudged it or Yardo moved, but they made contact and it was enough to send Skyline off-roading. He's now got a damaged end plate, I'm assuming, for a man who was on the front row here at Monza. It has been a baptism of fire. And now we are past the point of the safety car, so we have went through this race. No safety car. I do believe someone there is getting out of the way because they are lapped. Or that is actually just Mike's retired car. El Pilotor is starting to latch on to the back of this group. He saved his ERS, so he's still believing that if I can just burn in here now, I'm in a very nice place. It's just a slight bit, but I'd say he wants to start burning a little here, just to close up enough that he will get past. Because as the soft only have grip for so long, it'll be a lot of grip, but it is a finite time. You have it for, I suppose, tires, but it really is finite. That's kind of a time session. Very unfortunate. His race just never got going, really. Didn't have the greatest start, didn't got caught up in instance, and lap 1 chaos, and that was it. Jerome here. I think I need one more goal. It's Casper, it's past Leon. And I see Alpinator got past Nico, but Alpinator even knows that it's nonsensical. Now's the opportunity you might want to use here, because you can just burn. You have much more there. He's on fumes effectively. If ERS could be on fumes, it would be. And Alpinator down the inside in the second chicane. He's got it done. He's got one more move to do, and then he will have it. Ziarno, that's the first crash of the race, actually. So it took us 26 laps, but somebody has crashed out. So now, you know, up front, the final lap will begin. The Ferraris at Monza on a show. Jerome had a brilliant first lap to get up to P2. Obviously he fell a little bit behind at pit stops and undercuts. But now, Keane, he's moving to the left, down to the right. He's gonna watch you. Jerome's got a huge run, shooting to 51 kph. Now down around the outside. See what they get. Oh, he's been shoved off. He's been tapped off there. He's on now got 3 seconds. He's probably gonna want to get that removed. And the count's been tapped off, but that's probably the win gone. And I see Alpinator, he's now got Bascalsbury, so very well done to Alpinator. He has got a result that's good. That's showcased his speed. Let's see Sam here. He's had a quiet afternoon. P3, he's done the job. I think he'd be happy enough just to collect the points. Jerome will be annoyed there. He will feel like he has had a win taken away from him, particularly as he could have looked at the inside there. One more opportunity here to power. Keane's now got 3 seconds. It's all in hands of Leon's out. Leon's now crashed. Unless for one, Lewis Hamilton type vibes here from 2009. But now, up to the final corner. Parabolica. He's thrown everything at Keane. He might feel like the screen could be his if he can lose his penalty, saying himself for Keane. But for now, Keane takes the win in Monza and extends his championship lead to 15 points. So Jerome takes a well-earned P2, but he will feel a little aggrieved. So it's been a quiet afternoon for him. He did the job, got up to the podium. He's now got his podium. A bit of tour. He's flew through the pack, and he's now up to got P4, a well-earned P4, P5. Nico feel a little aggrieved. He could have been up a few more places, but the man he had that escapade with is now out. Our Terror Racer was lapped, so Leon may well get the points though. That's cool man finishing there. So that is your race. No safety car, no VSCs, just straight up 27 laps of full on racing. So, either way, this is a very 1-2. I don't think any penalty here could change that really, unless you went extremely harsh, but they did not. There was nothing that was that harsh on the race. Excuse me there. So, well done to Keane, well done to Jerome, well done to Sam. They are your podium sitters, so Keane takes the provisional win. Jerome takes it well on P2, but he will probably feel like that could have been his win there, as he was very much side by side and got tapped, which forced him to go off and pick up a penalty. Sen takes it a P3 after a very, very quiet afternoon. He got the better of Leon and it helped him just go onto the podium. El Pilotor, he got tangled up at the first lap, but he got back. P4 in fastest lap, Carlos P5, Nico P6, LD P7, Jet P8, Coolman P9, Leon P10, that's your top 10. Terry Racer was lapped. Leon did crash out, but finished ahead because he was ahead by a lap. Yarno, DNF, Skyline, Mike, Kenshin, and Lynx. So, very good race. Once again, I do remind you, check out GT Omega for some brilliant products. Use the code PSGL for a 5% discount. And, well, it was a very good race. I do believe that it's very much going to be a Ferrari battle, particularly with the drone of Alfa Romeo not being there tonight. So, well, thank you all there for watching. Make sure to tune into the other stream, including the F1, which is on right now. They should be in some quality, and with Monza being a quick race, you shouldn't miss much. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next week, hopefully.